Alright guys, welcome. I thought I'd do another Dayz tutorial. I was going to say a quick Dayz tutorial, but it's not going to be so quick. I'm going to show you two things, and that's because two things are pretty much in the same file that you can adjust. So I'm going to show you. So basically, if you got a server and you got items spawning on your map, now it can be any item. You got items spawning in like damaged and badly damaged, and you don't want that. You maybe just want pristine items. I'm going to show you how you can do that, change it in the server, because by default you'll get stuff spawning in from like worn to like, I think it's damaged, maybe even badly damaged as far as it goes, but you'll get stuff spawning that. So I'm going to show you how you can change that if you want to. And also, while I'm in the same file, if you've got items spawning on your map, like mainly guns, but it can be any item that has an attachment. But for the purpose of the video, I'm just going to be concentrating on a gun. So if you've got guns that's spawning in, but they're not spawning with attachments, and you would like them to, I'm going to show you how you do that as well. So, let's get straight to it. So I'm going to be working from a test server. And what you want to do is you want to go to your MP missions and your mission folder. So, the file you want is the CFG spawnable types.xml. So, go into this, open it up, and the first thing I talked about is the damaged. So that's right at the top here. You got this little damaged. I'm going to call it a damage tag, but I'm not even sure what you really call it. But you got two values here. You got a minimum state and you got a maximum state. So I'm not sure. This maximum state is like the maximum damage state, the value, the damage state of the gun. Or item. This can be for any item. So 0.7, I'm not quite sure. That's either damaged or badly damaged. The minimum, the 0.3, that is a worn state. So for me, what I usually like to do is I like to get the minimum to about 0.1, because that will make sure that you're getting stuff pristine. So the lower the value, you know, the better state the weapon or item will be in. You could do probably 0.0, but 0.1 is fine because you can't get any better than pristine, and 0.1 will spawn in pristine stuff. And then I usually like to change the 0.7 to 0.3, which is a warm state, but I don't mind stuff spawning in warm. That's fine with me. But whatever you want it as, whatever you want your state of your items to spawn in as, fiddle with that and adjust it to your needs. Right, now I talked about weapons spawning with attachments, or pretty much any item that can have an attachment slot on it, but we'll just work with weapons. And for the purpose of the video, I want to show you a foul because I've noticed something with that, but you would probably want to go through every item and adjust every item, but I'm just going to adjust one weapon item so you can see it works. And like I said, I want to show you the foul because I've seen an issue with that. Right, so the foul is right here. It's this little bit here. So first of all, what I'm going to say, the issue, it's got so we've got attachments here. We've got some optic attachments, and we've got this BUIS optic. Now this optic isn't compatible with the foul. It does not fit on it. So this being here, it is not needed, because if you keep this here and the server tries to spawn the foul with that optic, the optic will not be there. So it will show there's no optic. So you can just delete that entire line. You don't need the BUIS optic. Same for any other weapons. Check the attachments. Make sure the attachments it shows, or that you can also add attachments if you know you've got a modded weapon. If you've got like a mod that's got modded weapons and items, and like maybe a modded optic will fit on this foul, you can add it in, but make sure whatever items you're adding are compatible with the weapon, or whatever item you're trying to attach it to. Otherwise, it won't work. Also, if something isn't working, check the class names are correct, check the spelling is correct. What else could be wrong? I think that's it. Just check class name, spelling, and that the actual item is compatible. So yeah, one of them three things. If you have an issue with it not working, it's going to be one of them three things. Unless you made a mistake somewhere in the file script, you've deleted something and it's not reading the script properly. But generally, yeah, check the other three things. So we're going to work with the top. So for the purpose of this video, I am going to put, and sorry, I do know I'm saying so a lot. I'm going to try and stop that. It's one of my bad habits. I'm going to try, for the purpose of the video, I'm going to put everything to 100%, so it's guaranteed to always spawn it. But for you, adjust your percentage chance to what you want on your server. If you don't want, say, the fowl always spawning with a buttstock, maybe, you know, every now and again, maybe you want a 50% chance of it. All you need to do is adjust the percentage to, say, 0.50, which is 50%. Same for, you know, 10% or 80%. Adjust it to what you need it. But for the purpose of the video, so I can show you it works, I'm going to put everything to 100%. Now, we've got 2 buttstocks here. Now, obviously, we can't fit 2 buttstocks on the same gun. So, in this case, if you have got more than one item, you wouldn't want to put both items, or at least one item, to 100%. You would maybe want to put this to 50%, just like the other one. Or you could either lower it or increase it, depending on the percentage chance that how often you want that item to be attached on that gun. For the purpose of the video, though, I'm just going to remove one. And just have this one. So this fowl on my server with this will only spawn this folding buttstock as an attachment. So we set that. Now, the same for the optics. I want it to always have an optic. And like I said, and we'll keep saying, is adjust the percentage chance to what you want. I already put it to 100% so I can show you it guaranteed to work. Because I don't want to go and find 2 or 3 guns and they haven't got an optic and you're like, oh, it doesn't work. So if I put it to 100%, it's guaranteed to always spawn an optic. Right, and that should be it. You can put these to 100% if you want to, and I normally do. Now, you can put these to 100% if you want to, but you could just leave them like this. But one thing I normally do is, because sometimes I find it works better, I guess, is I usually try and make sure, if you've got more than one item, try and make sure all these chance percentages, so these 4, equal 100. So at the minute, we've only got 4 items that have got a 20% chance, so that's only equaling 80%. So what you would probably want to do is put one of these to 40, and now that would be, you know, 100% chance. But I'm going to leave it at 20 because I'm fairly certain you don't need to. It's just something I've always done because I used to have issues before in the past. And like with mainly zombies, if you're trying to get attachments spawning, not attachments, items spawning in zombies when you kill them, I had to, the items that were meant to spawn in zombies, I had to make it equal to 100% for it to actually work. And I'm just presuming it's the same with this file. But I'm going to keep it at 20%, and it should still work. If it doesn't, I'll go back in and I'll make all these equal, like, I'll just maybe adjust one of these to 40, so all these equal 100% in total. Right, next thing, we're going to go, we've got attachment here, we've got the magazine attachment. So we'll put this to 100%, so it always has a mag. And again, you know, if you don't want it to always have a mag, adjust this percentage here for the chance of it. And you can also adjust this too. You know, you could probably put this to say maybe 50% or 80% or whatever, but lower this. But we're going to just keep it to 100%. That's it. That is all you need to do. So if we file save, not only have we, you know, made the fowl now going to spawn with all the attachments it needs, we've also sorted the damage state out on all items. And yeah, that's it. Now, there is another optional file that you can go in. I'm going to go into it because I want to do something so I can have a better chance of finding the items. But if you go to your types XML file, which is in your DB folder, unless you got a custom one somewhere else, but we want to search for the fowl. I don't know if I just put a spelling mistake somewhere, but we want to search for the fowl. Right, the default, you can keep these, you can keep all this fine, it's not a problem, but being only a maximum of 5 spawning, it's probably going to take me a while to go around the map and find a fowl at all. So I'm going to increase them to 70, quite an high value, So when I get into the server and show you it's working, I'm not having trouble finding a foul. And then we'll just increase the minimum to somewhere up there. Now normally you wouldn't want to do this because that's quite a lot of items, and you know, the more items you got spawning on your server, it's going to be a bit more laggy. But because it's for a video, it's my test server, it's not what people play on, it's not really going to bother me. Right, next thing you want to do, most weapons won't have it, but the foul does, and it's set to be spawned in as a dynamic loot event. So all I need to do is change that to 0. That'll stop it spawning in a dynamic loot event. And when I meant to say stop, it won't completely stop it. So if anyone curious how they get items spawning in like in events on your server, like Ellie crashes and that, it's because of this. You can set this to 1, and it means that item will spawn there. Now it won't always be there because it's got a percentage chance of spawning there, but it's more likely to be there. And I tend to find if you want this to find this item around the map, having this set to 1 won't. It makes it really difficult for you to find this item. So I always put it to 0, and it means that the item will spawn around the map more. Now it still will spawn at a like a crash site or something, because with the crash site file, if you go, I forgot what the file's called now. I think it's the events XML. They've got a what they call a usage name. They've got a thing with different usage names, and one of their usage names is military. So that means the crash sites can spawn anything that's got a usage name with military. So because this foul's got a usage name with military, it can still spawn this foul even though that's set to 0. The same with the famous. Okay, that's 1, but if you put it to 0, username with military. Same with the optics and stuff. If they've got whatever the username for the crash site is, which I think is in the events XML file, or spawnable types events, or whatever it's called, if they've got a username of something, but this is still set to like 0, it will still spawn it. Not always, like I said, it's got a percentage chance, but it can still spawn there. So I always like to have this as 0. But it depends how rare you want the foul. Like, if you got like a vanilla-ish server, you probably want the foul quite rare. So keeping that to 1 would be good. But you could also put these two categories, cargo and hoarder, to 1. That'll make it a bit more rarer. And I don't like to have player, counting player as 1. I like to have it as 0. But again, you can put that to 1. So I just put that to 0. So that's what I'm going to do there. So, like I said, this is optional as well. You don't need to come in and increase this. I'm only increasing it so it gives me a better chance of finding it to show you guys it's working. Right. Now I want to find the actual mag because I do need to adjust something with the mag. Now, this is optional again. You don't need to do this. But I want the mag to have... Actually, I don't. I was going to say I want the mag to always have a full round. No, I don't. But what I am going to do, I want the mag to always have 50% rounds. So it's a 20 round mag. So I always want this mag to have at least 10 rounds and a maximum of 100. So I'm going to show you. So what you need to do here, you've got a quant min and quant max. This is the amount of rounds that can spawn in the mag. So at the minute it's got 5 and 50%. So I think 5% of that is what, like two rounds? 3 rounds maybe? 2 rounds? And quant max has got 50% max, which no more than 10 rounds. So we're going to put this to 50%. And this means it's always going to have at least 10 rounds in the mag. And this to 100%. So it could still spawn with a full 20 round mag. If you want it to always have 100 rounds, actually I'll just do it. If you always want it to have 100 rounds, put them both to 100%. So that means when you find the gun, it's going to have the mag with 20 rounds in. Now, the mag sometimes will have 19 rounds in, but there'll be a round in the gun. For some reason, when the weapon spawns, sometimes it's always got a bullet chambered, and sometimes it hasn't. But you've always got 20 rounds, if that makes sense. So yeah, for the purpose of the video, I'm going to put them both to 100. So it's always going to have, you're always going to have 20 rounds. But like I said, if you don't want it to have that, just adjust these values to what you want it. But remember, it's a percentage, not an amount. Okay, and that's pretty much it. You can adjust other stuff depending if you want to set like where you want the actual mag to spawn and stuff. But because I'm only working, because this is only an attachment, I'm just for the gun when the gun spawns. I don't want to mess with the username, value name, and I'm not going to really mess with the nominal and the minimum because I just don't need to. I just want to adjust this so you can see when I get the gun with this mag, it's always going to have 20 rounds. This will also affect the mag spawning as an item around the map. So if you do find this mag around the map, say, it will have 20 rounds in it. Right, anyway, close that, file, save. So all I need to do now is I'm going to delete my storage because I can. So I'm going to delete the storage so we get a fresh database. So it spawns all the weapons completely new. But if you can't do that, you know, you've got players that's got bases or whatever on your server, you can go into the data part of the storage. And I usually like to delete the types files. Just delete the types bin and these two types files here. But I'm just going to go ahead and delete the storage folder. Now my server is offline, so you'll need to make sure your server's like stopped and offline to do this. And it's always good practice to have your server offline anyway when making any changes, because sometimes you can corrupt things. I don't normally do. Normally mine's online, so I'm quite surprised I remember to turn it offline. But yeah, it's always good practice to do that. So we'll start the server, and then I'll log back into the server, and we'll find some files for you. Okay, so I've spawned on the coast of my server, but we'll teleport to a good location, and you know what, we'll teleport to Tizzy, because that's always a good location. If we teleport somewhere there, it's got some barracks here, and if I just use free cam, I mean I've got God mode on, but I like to get out of the way of zombies. We'll teleport there, and then if we use like the ESP mode, and actually search for some items, I think it's just the FAL is classed as a rifle, but we'll put them all on. I mean, I know it's definitely not classed as a pistol, but we'll just put them all on. And show ESP. We should... one right in the building I'm in. There's no other, yeah. There won't be a lot of items around here because it is vanilla loot and they've not been adjusted. Like, whenever you start a server up, vanilla loot is terrible. It's not set anywhere. But we've got a FAL here, so let's just show you. Yeah, you can see we've got an optic, we've got the buttstock, and we've got the mag. Now I want to see if I can find another, because I want to show you if I can find it. Sometimes I said the mag doesn't always have 20 rounds. Sometimes the gun will have a chambered round in it. And also look. That's pristine, that's pristine. Let's just check some items. There's no other items around here, was there? Is there any items over here? You know what? Let's go to the tent area, I think. Let me just... Sometimes refreshing this helps. Okay, let's go over to the tent area. We can just use... free cam, I guess. Go over. Right. And we can refresh that. Okay. I thought there'd be loads of files. Normally, there's a couple here. So let's go to this one, and then we'll go to the other one. There you go. See, this one's got 19 rounds, but there's one chambered in the gun. Optic and a buttstock. And again, it was like pristine. Jacket here. Pants, they're pristine. Now, stuff will spawn in warm because I have set it to 0.3, which is a warm state. I'm just ignoring that zombie. I've got God mode on. Right, and then let's check this file. Again, this one's got a different optic, but it's got the attachments that I've set it to. Will you just go away? Okay, I shouldn't have done that. I'll attract them all now. But yeah, you can see everything's spawning pristine. Oh, this stuff here, this apple being damaged, this is set, like, this wasn't actually an item that spawned, this is an item that spawned with a character. I need to go into the init file and I can adjust the damage values of that sort of stuff. But when it spawns on the map, it will all be, like, worn or pristine. But yeah, you can see, 3 files, all got attachments, 2 of them have got the ACOG, 1 of them's got the, what's it called, the RVN. But everything's there, and I obviously fired 1 bullet from this one. But yeah, that's what you do. Anyway, if any issues, if you're stuck, my Discord link is on my YouTube channel, so come and join that, and I'll help you if you've got any issues. But until next time, peace out and have fun.